Are you wanting to change yarn colors in your crochet projects? Are you uncertain whether you want to carry your yarn across your project or cut it off and just weave in your ends as you go? In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to change colors, and I'm going to show you what it looks like if you cut your yarn at every yarn color change and weave in your ends. So before we start, I just want to point out cutting it every time you change your yarn color is going to result in a lot of yarn tails that you have to weave in. But the question is, why would somebody choose this? The reason is if you cut your yarn tails and just weave them in and don't carry them across, you are not going to see any yarn popping through the stitches that are the different color. Carrying that yarn can be seen very slightly inside of those crochet stitches. So this is why some people would choose to weave in a million yarn tails. Now, if I go too quickly through the yarn color change itself, I have slower tutorials for that on this page and on my YouTube channel, Hope Corner Farm Crochet. What I'm going to do is in my fourth white stitch, I'm going to yarn over with white, insert, yarn over, pull through with the white, and you're going to bring in your new color. You're going to drape it across your crochet hook and pull through all 3 loops. I tighten up my white and I tighten up my teal. Now I'm going to let my white drop to the back because I'm not carrying it across. And then what I'm going to do, I'm still holding my yarn tail in place. I yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 stitches to start the teal. Now at this point I stop because again, this is a version where I'm cutting my yarn every single time and I'm going to cut my white free. And I would just keep doing that for the remainder of the project. Again, that's why I have so many yarn tails that need to be woven in with this version. So how I would weave in these yarn tails, I'm just going to point out if I can tie 2 yarn tails together in a knot and have that knot kind of disappear, I'm going to do that because it helps to secure my yarn tails a little bit better. So what I mean by tying them in a knot, I'm just doing a double square knot, do 1 knot, and then I do a second. So now I'm just going to put my yarn tail onto my yarn needle. I'm just weaving it through the eye there. And I want to weave white into white stitches. That way it's going to hide things a little bit better. Now I like to go in a few different directions. So I'm going to go one direction. I'm going to weave my yarn needle right through the middle of those stitches, pop up, and carefully and gently pull it tight. And notice it kind of sucks in that knot and it makes it a little harder to see. Now I like to go in a different direction for just a little bit. So I'm going to go up just a little bit. Pull it tight, and then I like to make a U, so I'm going to go back in the other direction with my yarn needle going right in the middle of those stitches. So I'm going to go right through there and I'm going to pull that tight. Then I bring in my scissors and I clip it off. And then I would repeat with the teal. I would just go into the teal stitches with my teal yarn and weave in my yarn ends in that way. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. If you need more crochet tutorials, you could check out my blog, hopecornerfarm.com, or my YouTube channel, Hope Corner Farm Crochet, where I take this and other stitches a lot more slowly.